guys, welcome back. Appreciate you finding this video here. What we're going to do today is we're going to build a set of pallet forks. Alright, now I found these on Facebook Marketplace. I think I paid $100 for them, and all we got to do is make the frame that goes on here, and I think I got an idea what I'm going to do, so let's get started. This is going to be the quick attach part of it, and by taking measurements off the grapple back, actually it's not the back of the grapple, it is the quick attach on the Bobcat. This is a minimum length of 48 that it can be, so it's 48 inches across. It happens to be about the size of the two pieces that I had of 2-inch square tubing. Now, taking the measurements from the rest of the Bobcat attach, this needs to be 18 inches outside to outside. That way I can make the brackets for the upper and the lower to fit on the quick attach. So that's all this is going to be first, and then we'll attach the slides for the pallet forks. Alright, well I let the camera get away from me while I was building these lower mounts. The way the front quick attach is I have to space this up to give the forks a little angle on them, because if I didn't, they would be almost straight at the very pull back as far as it could go. So we brought it up 2 inches. Here's how I came up with the right angles on this thing. And I did it off camera. So the easiest thing for me to do is make a pattern of what would fit here. And so what I did, I made a pattern right off the front of the Bobcat. What I did was I traced a pattern out of cardboard that fits this quick attach so that I could put it at any angle that I needed to on that front part, and it would have the right angles here and on the bottom. Really the only way I know to do it. Pretty simple. So now that I have all this tacked into place, and I've tried it on there, and it fits just right on there and locks in. All I did for the lock-in part, I cut these out after I put them on there. I laid it in place, and I tried to close down the latches, and I was able to mark them so I could just cut the holes out. What I was going to do here is make a piece of metal that went from here to here, keep this from moving. I don't think this would really move anywhere, but it needs some structure on here probably, and to be honest, I'm a little lazy to cut something like that out. So I think what I'm going to do is I found a couple of big triangular pieces that I think will work here. I can take that and weld that here, round this off, and then that'll give that a little bit of more structure. And up here, I'm not sure what I've got to do. You know what, I keep some scraps in here. Let's look at these scraps and see if there's anything in here that will work. Okay, so here's some pieces that kind of have it's not like a 45 like this one. Let's look, because this is kind of an unusual angle. Oh, well, look at there, that fits just right. So I wonder if I've got 4 of those like that in here. Let's see. So I think what I'll do is I'll use these 2 right here, the thick one here, and then we'll put let's see, a thinner one over here. Yeah, that's what I'll do, is I'll put that one there and these 2 on the other side. Alright, so let's weld these on here, and then I'll come up with some kind of cap or something for this other side. think I've got a good idea how I'm going to attach these forks to this plate. So I've got this 1/2 inch by probably, what is that, 4 inch? Yeah, 1/2 inch by 4 inch plate, top and bottom. We'll notch the top out for the locks. And I need to angle it out a little bit from the top so I can have room for the knobs on top to move them in and out. So I think this is going to fit nicely here, and what I've done for this side is we'll do this here. So the bottom plate will roll directly across the bottom to be the slide for the bottom pieces. The top piece, I need to space it out about a 1/2 inch so I can have room for the top. Now I have a long piece of this, it's 3 inch stock, and what is that, 1/4 inch? Yeah, 1/4 inch by 3 inch. I think I'm going to use that as a backing on this, and I'll weld it somewhere like this, because this is angled a little bit. It's not flat up against, it's not 90 degrees off this piece, so I'll have to get it set in there properly. And I don't know if I need to gusset this any at all. The lifting capacity on this Bobcat, I think, is 1,300 or 1,500. I don't think this thing's ever gonna see anything any heavier than that. I won't lift it. So all this doesn't have to be gusseted like I did, but it's a little bit overkill. So I think this will be fine with one long piece of this 3 inch from top to bottom here, all the way across, welded on both sides, and maybe I'll gusset it in a couple of places. So let's put that together real quick. What I'll do is I'll cut notches for that top bar every 6 inches. So that'll give us 3 settings on either side. I don't know what the norm is. We'll go with this.
Push button four-wheel drive. And then when you're in four-wheel drive, you can lock the front differential, so that's nice. You can probably go anywhere. It's automatic, so just it's a high, low, reverse.
So what I need down here is about 5 inches from where the Bobcat plate bolts on to the bottom of the ground, so that when the Bobcat's all the way lower down, the forks are resting on the ground. If it's up any higher, the forks won't get to the ground with the Bobcat all the way to the bottom. So I think welding this plate flush to the bottom of this 2-inch tube, and then tuck this one back up in here where it needs to be. And I'll probably angle it, I'll probably pull it out a little bit further, because you can see it's tight here where that lever is. I think that's where we need to be. So I'm going to weld the bottom plate on there, and then position the top one and tack it in. I guess I could have made that a little looser, but Maybe it'll loosen up over time. So I think we'll weld it in like that. And I also wanted to show that when you do a fork setup like this, you have to cut a notch out here on the bottom so you can get the fork out. I'll show you how that works. At least I hope it works. So there's a channel I like to watch on YouTube. It is Andrew Camarada. And it's funny because he'll use these blue Irwin clamps for all kinds of stuff. Pressing stuff together. Cracks me up. If he's ever in a pinch, he pulls out the blue Irwin clamp and uses it as a press. If you like somebody fabricating and building stuff with big hammers and welders, he's your guy. soften the edges a little bit on this and take the splatter off it real quick before we paint it.
Icy hot now has a bold new look. This spray and toss. The shark trap. This USAA made for this guy. A better review.
Alright, there you go, all done. That was a fun project. Not a whole lot of money in it, maybe a couple $100.